Hi, friends. During my second trip to Africa in 2007, I spent about a week in Uganda preaching at some churches and doing evangelistic outreach programs. And I was invited to go to Kenya to spend about 4 or 5 days doing evangelism there. And so I needed to take a bus from Kampala, the capital of Uganda, to the border town, kind of northeast um, to Kenya. And Pastor Benjamin got one of the brothers from the church to go along with me. So we drive downtown in Kampala and find this, huge parking lot full of buses, and they were small buses. They're actually Toyota minivans, and they take out the seats of those and they put in row seats, bench seats, and so they hold about 18 people. And so Brother Fred, who was going with me, him and I get in there. I'm the only non-African there, and it's very tight quarters. I'm holding a small bag on my lap. I'm next to the window, away from the door, and guys are trying to sell me, bottles of water or soda, or one guy had, a bunch of watches up and down his arm, and they don't leave until the van is full of people. And so we sat there probably for an hour or so, and then we got enough people to head to the border town, and so we take off. And I was told it'd be about a 3-hour drive, and it turned into 7 because there was road construction, and in many places it was a one-lane road. And so what happened during this journey was a couple of interesting things. One, as we were traveling, each van driver was trying to get ahead of the other guy. And so we'd go around a corner and we'd pass somebody, and then we'd go around a different corner and someone would pass us. And then it got to the point where, as a van, we all kind of came together and guys were hanging out the windows. And as we passed, we were yelling at people, kind of, yeah, cheering, we got you. And then they'd pass us. And it was just kind of chaotic. It was kind of fun at that point. But then the day started going longer and longer. And I didn't know it was going to take 7 hours. And we stopped a couple times. We never got out. So I wasn't drinking any water or nothing to drink because we weren't getting out, And one of the stop points, some people were coming up to the van and they stuck in some sticks and they had some barbecued meat on there. Don't know what that was. They were selling it and I didn't want any, And so during this journey, I'm complaining to God. To be honest with you, I'm not comfortable. I'm dirty. It's dusty. I'm getting very tired. The day's getting longer. I don't know where we are. And so I'm complaining in my mind. I'm kind of praying. I'm just thinking, God, isn't there a better way you could have gotten me, to Kenya? I was, grateful that my wife and kids weren't with me. But during that time of my, moaning and groaning to God, a Bible verse came to my mind, and I want to read it to you because this is what God hit me on the side of the head with. It's in the book of Philippians, chapter 2, verses 14 and 15, and it says, "Do everything without complaining or arguing, so that you may become blameless and pure, children of God, without fault in a crooked and depraved generation, in which you shine like stars in the universe." So, after God convicted me of my attitude, I kind of chilled out and I started to enjoy the ride because we were going through some beautiful country, and it was just amazing to be there. And I saw the birth waters of the Nile River, which was amazing to think about. And then as we're getting closer, it's kind of getting a little, later in the afternoon, and the pastor in Kenya had tried to get a hold of us, and there's no way we could communicate. And then I'm realizing that, Brother Fred, who's next to me, he's got to make this journey back. And so I'm starting to feel guilty, because I'm doing this and I'm going to go on and work for a few days and then come back. But then, he's got to just do another 7 hours is what it turned out to be. And so I'm looking at him and he's smiling. I mean, this whole trip, I've kind of, talked to him a little bit, but he's smiling, he's looking around, enjoying the trip. And I asked him, I said, are you going back right away tonight? And he said, no. He goes, no, I'm going to spend the night in this town. I'm from this town. My mother lives there, and I'm going to see her. And I said, oh, that's great. The guilt was leaving. I was feeling better about myself. And I said, when's the last time you saw your mother? And he got real serious, and he said, you know, I've been praying for 3 years that God would give me enough money to buy a bus ticket so I could go see my mother again. And this morning, Pastor Benjamin asked, you know, me to take you to my hometown. And so, man, it really hit me, a lesson from God, because, you know, during this whole journey, this whole long day, this uncomfortableness that I was experiencing, I wasn't in danger. I was safe. I was fine. I was just, you know, complaining to God because I wanted it to be easier and better. But as I'm going through that, Brother Fred's there praising God for 7 hours that God answered his prayer that he's going to go see his mom. And in spite of my attitude, in spite of my probably not a great witness during that time, or at least in my mind, God used me to bless Brother Fred. And it's just amazing, because it really, the point of this is that no matter where we are in our lives, you know, whatever happens today, whether we're in a great mood or a bad mood, just kind of mediocre mood, God is going to use you to bless somebody else's life. We are a witness to other people, and that can be good or bad. But even in spite of ourselves, in spite of having the challenges and our kind of moaning, groaning stages, God will still use us in spite of that to bless somebody else. So today, as you go about your day, or tomorrow, whenever you watch this, I just pray that you'll remember my little story and my little guilt party, and being transparent and sharing that with you, and that you'll realize that God is going to use you mightily to bless somebody else when you don't even know it most of the time. And so I hope you enjoyed this story. Like and share it. And again, have a great day, have an amazing day, and go inspire someone else to do the same. God bless you.